All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and a salutation to all you Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity. And we're just gonna go into like a quick lesson on basically like perfect judgment, especially amongst the brotherhood,
Con. All right, this is Psalms 2 and 10. And it reads, Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling.
So hey, we have to serve the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai with fear and trembling, man, especially amongst the brotherhood, because hey, what does it tell you? These two hanging on the whole law, love thy neighbor as thyself. And it's like, what's the other one? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Serve no other power before Yahweh Shem Shai, if I'm not mistaken.
You're loving the Lord thy power
Speak up.
With all thy heart.
Yeah, which is basically the same thing.
Speak up, Ak.
Yeah, loving the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy might.
That's all we really trying to fulfill, that, man, because of course we're not trying to, you can't keep the law in its entirety, man, and we're not seeking to do that either. But hey, what does Yahweh Shai say, man? If you can't love these whom you seen, how can you love me? So ultimately, hey, you gotta really think and reverence upon that, man, about the brothers that you're dealing with every single day, man, especially the brothers, because those are the little ones, man. And how elders, the apostles always say, like, hey, you might be talking to, you might be talking to Jacob himself, man. You might be talking to Jeremiah or Isaiah, himself, You got to think about that, man, when dealing with the brothers, man. Especially executing judgment, man. Because that's what we learning, man. Can you reread that? It says, be ye wise.
Salakia. I was going to say, since you said that, could you, Bible Shai, grab that Hebrews real quick? Just because you said that. Salakia.
Hebrews what?
Was the 13th chapter. Have entertained angels.
Oh, come.
Angels unawares. That's why it talks about that type of conduct. Hebrews 13 and 2.
Let's start at 1.
Come.
This is... Speak up, Akim, too.
Salak.
This is Hebrews 13 and 1. Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
Yeah, man. So it's like basically watching how you talk to brothers, man. Knowing when to give the right type of judgment, if judgment is needed, or just to give the judgment, period. If you know that somebody has to get that cuss out, man. Not amping on brothers, man, but doing it all out of love, man. You're not doing it out of spite. You're doing it out of the care and love for someone's soul. And that's the type of energy that you have to vibrate to every last brother that you love, man. We don't cuss people out that we don't give a fuck about. We let them go by their way, man, if they can't receive it. Like it says, the brother said, you could be talking to Jacob, man. You could be talking to a prophet, and he might be fucking up, or he might not be. But the thing is, any judgment you give him, you have to give him that same judgment that you would want given to you.
Okay.
All right, back in that Psalms 2. Psalms 2 and 10 again. And it reads, Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
So that's ultimately what we learning right now, man. That's the trying of our faith, the trying of our patience, is ultimately learning this judgment, man. The same judgments that we meet the people, we have to meet ourselves, man. We don't want to be found to be hypocrites, man. So keep going, Aki.
Verse 11, Serve the Lord Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling.
Come. Hey, so ultimately you want to do everything, in the fear of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Like, am I executing the right judgments? What I mean? What did I'm always messing this up. What did King Solomon ask for, man? He asked basically for that spirit, man, to judge the people, man.
Come on, let me see if I can get that. I think it's 1 Chronicles.
You could get in First
Kings. Kings. I think it's 15.
2 Chronicles, my bad. Salakia, give me 1 second to find it. Right here. This is 2 Chronicles 1. Let me see where I have to end off, though. Yeah, right here. This is 2 Chronicles 1:7. In that night did Yahweh appear unto Solomon, and said unto him, Ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said unto the Most High Yahweh, Thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Yahweh, my power, let thy promise unto David my father be established. For thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great?
So he asked for that. He asked for that spirit to judge the people, man. And ultimately, that's a lot of blood on your hands, man. Like when you deal in the spirit of judgment, hey, you're meeting out judgments. That's a serious thing, you know. Brothers' livelihoods are in your hands, so to speak, man. So you always want to pray to the Most High for that, you know, that you executing the right judgment, man.
That's right.
That you meeting the right judgments.
Can I add a point real quick, Ark? That's why you can't be hasty, you know, when giving out judgment. You know, you have to hear the whole matter. You know where that scripture is, so I can get it real quick? I know it's in Sirach. Hear the whole matter.
It should have been Sirach 11 chapter, I believe.
Sirach 11.
Yeah, I got it up. It's 11 and
11 and what?
7.
Can you read that and then I'll break it down?
It's Sirach 11 and 7. It says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke."
Exactly. It says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, then rebuke." So don't be hasty and just giving out judgment. Hear the whole matter. Okay, hear the whole matter first. Let a brother explain his situation. Then you cast the judgment, man. Okay, because you might be hasty, and that brother might have a legitimate excuse. Something may have come up. Who knows what it might have been? Okay, maybe something critical could have happened to his parent. Okay, or maybe his wife, and he had to handle that first. You know. Just make sure that you hear out the whole matter first before you give judgment. Just don't be hasty to curse out a brother, you know. And that's because you would want the same if you were in that position, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like say for instance, something does happen. A lot of people, like brothers included, brothers aren't always thinking like, especially when something happens. Brothers don't always make the best judgments when shit happens. Where it's like, okay, I just had to react and do, had to do what I did, and it caused a whole, spiral effect. Ultimately just exercise patience. That's a huge thing. Jake dealing amongst Jake. Ultimately you want to deal with that patience, man. You can't go wrong, man. Like sometimes the best thing to do is just hold your peace. Wait. Like how the scriptures say it, man. It says blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. So get the whole matter. It says, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. And Jake be doing, a lot of Jakes do that shit heavy, man. Like whoever's speaking, let the man, get his point out. Let him, get the details, man. But that's nice.
Let's get on that one. We'll go back to that. In Chronicles, this is 2 Chronicles 1 and 10. It says, "Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and judge in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great?" And the Most High said to Solomon, because this was in thy heart, and thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thy enemies, neither yet has asked long life, but has asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people over whom I have made thee king. Wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor, such as none of the kings that have been before thee, neither shall there any after thee have the like. So the Lord gave him that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to judge the people, and that's because he asked for it. That's another thing too. Okay, if you're put in a position where you have to cast judgment, pray to the Lord that you for that wisdom to cast that proper judgment. Make sure that you ask for that. You know, because you don't want to be like I think the brother said it. You don't want to It's kind of like what did you say? Like you could be you could have a lot of blood on your hand for casting the wrong judgment.
Yeah,
you know?
man. Like look at Esau. Esau is getting this fucking 1,000-year captivity for like even the fucking Esau's wicked judicial system, man. They judge for hire, man. Look at the fucking these wicked prophets, man. These wicked Pharisees and Sadducees of today, man. The Nates, they tell men, hey, I don't like your clothes. You know what I mean? You don't have fringes on your garment. They judge for hire, man. They judge based off the appearance. They judge based off what type of gain they could get. They turn men, they hide the key of knowledge. They turn men away from the truth. Oh, you asking too many questions. This, just go up the street. This isn't for you. I'm not gonna tell you the name of the Lord. Hey, we're dealing with the spirit of judgment, man. Just like how Yahweh Shai is gonna, judge us. It's every man is gonna be judged according to his works. Hey, these are ultimately our works, man. What we're doing.
You read that Romans?
No, not the Romans 14.
Yeah.
No, you want me to get it?
Yeah, the Romans here called for, because they went into it where it said
Hold on, Knock. And you gotta speak up too, because you're in the back.
Yeah, Salaki. Yeah, because that scripture pretty much went into it where it says basically if somebody has questions, man, as long as it's not a heretic, because some brothers first coming into this truth. It's been brothers that was sincere, and they seem like they could have been being heretical because they have a whole bunch of questions. Now, a brother's been in the truth for a while, know that he's not going to be able to understand half the questions that he just asked in that amount of space and time. But, that's a hungry mind. He been eating Chinese food spiritually like his whole entire life, and he just found out that this might be the truth. So they're going to come with a whole bunch of questions, man. And there goes that judgment again, man. You can't just tell somebody to beat it unless they actually being a fucking demon, or you sense in the spirit that they not sincere, man. But if they not coming against it, like Yahweh Shai said, man, he that is not against me is with me, man. For lack of a better word.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna read that then. Romans 14:1. Him that is weak in the faith receive you, but not to doubtful disputations.
Yeah, for an argument. Like if somebody is actually posing a fucking argument rather than, well, I heard this, so what does this actually mean? Instead of then, like, you can sense it when somebody's actually full of shit. It might seem like it at first, but that's where it says hear the whole matter, man. You gotta let them come out with their bullshit first, and eventually they go expose themselves to be a demon, like that guy G-Man did once upon a time ago when he had first went out there to see the elders, man. He came out like he was sincere, trying to hang his head, but then he started to reveal himself to be a demon. They gave him the floor to be the demon, man, so it would be known. So when they cussed him out, it would be justified in the spirit.
Hey, I'll give you an example. Hey, there was a brother over the weekend who was asking me about basically the tribe of Dan. I felt maybe, all right, if you know that, maybe you know the breakdowns. And then he's asking about like the southern, northern kingdom. Basically Joseph being Ephraim or whatnot. Being the head and the name change and all that.
Northern kingdom. And
I was like, in my mind, there's things I'm like how you've been watching videos this long, you don't really know all this. But then I had to really think about, okay, if he's sincere, you know what? It's one point in time, I didn't know any of this. So I'm like, okay, if he's sincere, I'm going to answer the fucking questions anyway, because you got to contend for the faith, and the scriptures say be ready to give an answer. So I'm like, all right, I'm giving the answers. If he's sincere, going to show he's dealing. But if he's not, going to show he's not dealing. But even still, it's like, a lot of times it's like, you know what? We'll give you the fucking benefit of the doubt. Hey, the Lord knows, man. Ultimately.
God, Romans 14:2. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs.
Hey, that was a perfect example right there, man. Because, that may have been something where he's like, he's still, something that may be simple for me is still complex for him. And you got to understand that, you're dealing with brothers on different, like, levels in this truth,
That's why Paul said, I become,
all things for all men.
All things for all. Yeah, Paul said that he becomes all things for all men. And you have to do that. You have to gauge where a brother's at. Okay? And then talk to him at that level. You know?
Even in the truth, man. You know, brothers may not be like at a certain point. You know, you can't get super frustrated, but it's like, hey, man, shit, we all didn't know this truth at one point in time, man. It's why Scripture say, "What, call no man common or unclean," because we were once that man.
And it reads, verse 3, let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not.
Yeah, so hey, ultimately, man, fear the Lord, man, because the Lord can fucking take the spirit away from you, man. Shit, you won't even know how to fucking break down Deuteronomy 28.
That's right. Yeah, don't get mad at somebody that can't take in the deep breakdowns. Okay, if somebody's at that milk level, like how the brother was saying, have patience with them. Talk to him on that level. If that's what he only understands, you have to deal with them at that level, okay? You know, obviously, you know, you want the brothers to grow too, so, you know, you got to start, you know, brothers got to step it up. But if that brother's only at that level at that moment, just deal with him at that level.
Amen. The scripture says, it says that Yahweh will give the increase, man. And that farmer, he can be mad all day that, you know, the sun is beaming on his plant and he's watering it, but it's been taking weeks for it to sprout. But ultimately it's the Lord, man. As long as, you know, you keep watering and that plant is still dealing, man, then what's the problem, man? It's like if a brother is sincere, brothers can't understand everything, man. You have some brothers that came in not being able to read, and some brothers that still can't and still learning, man. It's a learning process. The Lord, He's gonna have it. Like it might be a brother that's gonna be slow at learning some things, and then he just starts getting it at this certain amount of time. Or it might be a time where, you know, the Lord just and his spirit is awakened to it, man, and that happens. But you can't knock a brother that doesn't get everything that you get, another brother gets, as long as they still dealing, they're still doing the things that are accessing growth, you know.
God, I'm going to read that again, Romans 14:3. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth.
Hey, look at Nicodemus, man. Nicodemus thought you had to fucking, when Yahweh said be reborn, he thought you actually had to fucking climb in and be reborn, man. That's how simple he thought it was. You know, he thought about it on that level. Yahweh had to break it down to him, man.
God, I'm going to read it again. And let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. Exactly. So, you know, for even like the younger man, you can't, you know, get mad at an older brother for doing something just because you're not at that level, man. You know? Stay in your lane, man, basically. Okay? Because you don't want to be stepping out of your boundaries either. Okay? Hey, the Lord will show things and reveal things in due time. There's that one scripture in Sirach, we always quote it, where the Lord gives you things in due season. When he finds it,
thing in due season.
Slaki, repeat that again.
He gives you every needful thing in due season.
Exactly. When the Lord finds it fit for you to get, you know, that understanding, He'll give it to you. Okay? I'm going to keep reading. It says, for Yahweh hath received him. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant?
And that's ultimately what the breakdown is. You know, we're all servants, you know what I mean? Even servants among men, you know. So ultimately, it's like what is that parable about the debtors? Where, you know, one servant forgave the debt, and then his servant forgave him, but the master forgave the master forgave the initial debtor, and then that debtor didn't forgive those who owed him. And that's ultimately what we're all seeking for, mercy, man. You know, and that's just the initial point, man. Like, hey, you got to know when to exercise the judgments, man. Hey, when is it the time for mercy? When is it the time for the hammer? You know.
That's right. And it says, to his own master he standeth or falleth, yea, he shall be holding up. For the Most High is able to make him stand.
And that's ultimately what you have to do, man. Like, if you're gonna tear a brother down, you have to build that brother up, man. You know, This isn't just some fucking shit for like a goddamn show or like look at me. We're not fucking worldly, man. You know, we're not doing this on other people's expense. You know, if you tear a brother down, man, you gotta build that brother up, man. You know, just don't uproot that brother, not to make him more stable. You know.
That's right. Can you got a scripture?
I got that Sirach 39 and 33. Unless you want to go back, I can go back to that Sirach 8.
Yeah, you want to go to Sirach 8 then?
Okay.
I don't think we even read it. Sirach, what was it?
85.
8 and 5.
Okay.
God.
Sirach chapter 8.
I'll get it for you. Sirach 8 and 5. Reproach not a man that turneth from sin, but remember that we are all worthy of punishment.
Yeah, man.
Speak up.
Just like it said in the book of Romans with Paul, man. Remember that we have all fallen short of grace, man. You know? So with that, you use that same judgment to be like, oh, well, shit, damn, I ain't perfect either. Let me build this brother up the right way. Let me not come down too hard. And we aren't excusing not rebuking. We ain't excusing a rebuke on a brother, because shit, we all need rebukes. It's just like Moses said, man. I would that all the Lord's people were prophets, man, because that would be that correction, man. Really, that's how we all supposed to be correcting one another, man. That's really that was the breakdown of that, man. You know, Slaki, what did Yahushua say? He said, until I return, give attendance unto reading, exhortation, man, correcting one another, man, learning, man, getting built up. But it's a way that you do that. You know, it really is just about standing in your lot. And you going, man, if you going to the gym every day, even if you're not the biggest brother, you know, if you're going to the gym every day, eating every day, you're gonna get big. The same with this, man. You know, if you listening every day, man, if you taking those cuts, those rebukes, and you living them, you gonna get built up, man. You know, you gonna learn judgment, you gonna learn mercy, man. If you take heed to the commandments, man. You know, you gonna get cut. You gonna learn how to deal with a brother, and when you was in a certain position, when you knew that you had did something and you was in the wrong, or when you had to suffer wrongfully, you know. And that's one of the reasons why I love a lot of brothers that come in this. We suffer wrongfully so that we can learn how to properly judge. You know.
Con. I wanted to make a point too, because you said something that reminded me of that Matthew 7 about they basically don't have a mote in your eye or something like that.
You wanted to get the Matthew 7?
Yeah, I don't know where it's at though. Can you find it for me?
It's 7 and 1.
Oh, 7 and 1. Okay. Matthew 7. 7 and 1, and we'll go down to 5. Yep. Yeah.
It's Matthew 7 and 1. It says, "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged."
Exactly. So it says, "For what, with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged." You know. So you want to make sure that you're giving that proper judgment, man. You don't want to be casting a judgment down, okay? And basically, you know, you wouldn't want to have that judgment done unto you, man. Okay?
That's why Leviticus the 19th chapter is a good chapter for brothers to read, because it shows you about that righteous judgment, man. Like you don't send out a judgment like, okay, let's just like with Elder Tahar, man. His judgment was a righteous judgment. Why? Because it was the same judgment that he first looked at himself with, man. He judged himself with it. He does his videos, man. So I'm doing this. Why the fuck can't you? You know, that's a righteous spirit to have, man. You know, I'm no different from anybody else. If I can do it, so can you, man.
Exactly.
And if you don't know how to do it, oh well, I'll show you how. Just come on, follow me.
Exactly. Can you keep reading now?
It says, "And with what measure ye met,
it shall be measured to you again.
Mm-hmm.
Why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?
Exactly, man. You know, you got to get that mote out of your eye, man. Okay. You know, when you're casting judgment, man, you got to make sure that it's, you know, it's sincere, man. Don't do things out of being hasty, doing things rash. Okay. Don't just make sure that what you're doing is correctly, man. Okay. You know, and you just don't want to, and you want to get that mercy too, because there's times where, you know, you might cast a judgment down, and that brother was going through some shit, man. You know, you want to make sure that you're casting a proper judgment, because if you were in those same shoes as that brother, you would want mercy, man. So you always gotta judge the whole matter properly. That's why you gotta hear everything out first before, making the decision. Keep going, Ak.
It says, and why beholdest the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye? And behold, a beam is in thine own eye.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
Exactly. You gotta make sure that what you're doing is is proper. Okay, that you're not doing anything hypocritical. If you're telling a brother to do a certain thing, you better be doing it yourself, man. Okay. And you should be having fair judgment on everybody, man. Okay, that's another thing too. You don't want to just be judging one, this particular brother this way, man, and then maybe cutting slack on another brother. You want to make sure that if you're going to cast a judgment, that everybody receives that same judgment. They all got to get the same punishment.
That's like what Yahweh Shai had said to his disciples. He said, basically, if you love those that love you, what profit have you, man? What profit do you have from that, man? And that's where it went into loving your enemies. And he was actually talking about Israelites, talking about brothers in the fold, brothers that you don't always agree with, you got to show them the same love, man. And that love can be correction, but it can also sometimes be compassion, man. It can be the same love that you have for your own self, your own flesh, man. That you would want mercy, that you would want grace and compassion on you, man. The same grace and hope that we hoping for from the Lord, you supposed to be giving that to brothers.
Come.
You got something, Mark?
You want to go to Sirach 28, and I think you started 1.
All right, Khan. Sirach 28 and 1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest.
Come on, man. See, hey, brothers do shit to piss you off, in the truth. We all fucking get pissed off. It's like, bro, you still gotta fucking, hey, remember, Yahweh Shai had mercy on us, bro. And nobody's more pissed off than him.
Right.
It says, one man beareth hatred against another, and doeth he seek pardon from the Lord?
Hey, going back to that, hey, these two things hang you on the whole law, man. You want to enter into the kingdom of heaven, hey, you got to deal with your brother accordingly, man.
And it says, he showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doeth he ask forgiveness of his own sins?
Hey, after you quoted it you quoted it earlier. All our righteousness is filthy rags, man. Hey, we're all fucking trying to get the same penny in the truth. We all fell short of the glory. We're all worthy of death.
And it says, If he that is but flesh nourisheth hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins?
Kind of reread that one more time.
If he that is but flesh nourisheth hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins?
Yeah, man. So hey, we're just mere ashes, man. You know what I mean? Hey, we all fucking go off, man. Ultimately, Yahushua was that fucking propitiation for our sins. You know, he's the one pleading our cause. You know, so how is it that you fucking, you know, getting, you know, going above and beyond or a brother, and then you want, you know, the Lord could easily put you in the same situation, you know, and show you no mercy because you wanted to show a brother no mercy. You know, so you gotta remember that when exercising these judgments, man.
Con. It says, keep going, Knock.
Is this morning?
It says, remember thy end and let enmity cease. Should I keep going?
Kanye, you read that.
Okay. Sirach 28:6. Remember thy end and let enmity cease.
Does it let you go into that word enmity?
No, not.
Let me see. 'Cause I know what it means, but let me get it for sure.
It means like hatred.
Con.
Basically, that's what it means.
But yeah, hey, you gotta remember the end, man. If you holding on to that grudge, because I believe it says malice and wrath. If I'm not mistaken, it's malice and wrath. These are both abominations to Yahweh. So it's like you can't hold that. You can't hold that hatred, man. That could easily fucking be that chariot ride missed, man.
Con. And it says, you got it?
Con.
However you said it. Inimicitia. Enmity. Hostility. Usually plural for inimicus. Enemy.
Yeah, so that hostility, basically, yeah, going into that hatred, man. You know, we all gonna do shit to piss each other off in the truth, man. We're fucking flesh, man. You know, hey, Paul and Barnabas didn't always fucking see eye to eye, but they were still brothers.
Con. And it says, remember corruption and death, and abide in the commandments.
Ultimately, hey, that you better abide in that fear. Y'all about to shimmy out shot. What's the fucking scripture? Hey, fear him not who could destroy. Fear him who could destroy the body and soul in hell. So that's who you ought to fear, man. You know, reverence the commandments, man. You know, that's real. That's a real serious thing when it comes to, you know, dealing amongst the brotherhood, man. You know, that's not a thing to be taken lightly.
It says, remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and weak at ignorance.
So, hey, man, we all fucking go off, man. We only been Israelites in this fucking truth for a short time, man. You know, we had more experience being niggas than we have Israelites. So, hey, brothers are gonna fuck up, man. It's like how it tells you in Ecclesiastes, it's a time and season for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a time for mercy. It's a time to execute that harsh judgment, man. But hey, ultimately pray for the spirit of discernment, you know, when to do which.
That's right. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that Sirach 28.
Okay, I got one. Let me see. Go to you in it with this Luke 22:32. Sure, you can read a verse up if you want. That verse goes into
32.
22:31 to 32.
Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Yeah, man. So the spirit of Satan is out there, man, like that devouring lion, man. It's gonna try you with every avenue, man, especially with amongst the brotherhood. You know.
Slack, it says, but I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
So that was Yahushua's words, man. Hey, so ultimately, we have to do the same things, man. Pray for the brethren. Hey, once you get strengthen the brethren, man. You know what does Murph always say? We spar in battle, so we spar here, so we don't fall in battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hey, that's ultimately what we're doing, man. Is we're building the breaches of Israel, man. You know, we're strengthening the brotherhood, man. So that's what our main priority is, man. Looking for the elect and strengthening the brethren once they are converted, man. Until those chariots come. It's like the shit that we gotta get ready and fucking go through is not gonna be a fucking light thing. So you brothers need to be fucking building each other up at all fucking at all point and cost. It's a word for it. Damn, I cannot think of the word. It's in Romans though. Damn. It won't come to me, but yeah, man, that's what we gotta be doing, man.
That's right.
Unless you brothers got anything?
No.
All right. All right, and with that, hopefully that was an edifying lesson. Just ask for proper judgment, man. Ask for the the Spirit to give you that wisdom so you can judge everything accordingly. And hopefully that was an edifying lesson. And with that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and elders, and salutations to you, Akim. Shalom.